Still breathing. You're not even worth the dirt on my boots. Dead last.
Sota had lost this match 100 times. Each failure carved deeper into his name at Tide Academy.
Dead last again. You are a stain on this academy's record, Cadet Sota. Tomorrow is the awakening ceremony. Perhaps then you will find a reason to stay, or you will finally be expelled.
An awakening won't save a worm like you. You'll still be last. If I fail tomorrow, they'll throw me out. I have nowhere else to go.
Long after the others left, Sota sat alone in the ring, pressing a torn cloth to his bleeding arm.
Maybe, just maybe, my fruit will show something. Anything.
He would attend the ceremony. There was no other path, only the hope that a fruit could rewrite his fate. But in the dark waters of Tide Academy, hope was a fragile thing, and the dead last cadet was about to be tested beyond anything he imagined. That night, Sota retreated to his cramped dormitory, the weight of the day's failure pressing down on him.
If I don't awaken something tomorrow, I'll be cast out like garbage.
A soft knock interrupted his brooding. The door creaked open, and the last person he expected stepped inside.
Sota, your arm is still bleeding. Let me take care of that.
Princess Cadet Yui was the only one who never looked down on him. Her hands were gentle as she wrapped the bandage around his palm.
You have more courage than any of them. Tomorrow, your fruit will prove it.
No one's ever said that to me. Thank you, Yui.
Hesitantly, Sota pulled out the small, dull blue devil fruit he'd been assigned. It had never shown a flicker of life.
This thing, it's as dead as my chances. But I still hope.
As his fingers brushed its skin, a faint spark, barely a whisper of blue lightning, crackled through the air between them. Yui gasped. The spark vanished, but Sota's heart beat faster. Together, they walked toward the ceremony hall. The awakening ceremony hall filled with anxious cadets, a grand orb at its center, pulsing with ancient light. One by one, cadets approached the orb, placing their fruits. Ranks glowed briefly above. C, B, A, most unremarkable.
Stand aside, dead last. Let me show you what a real fruit looks like.
The orb flashed amber as Kale's fruit awakened. A rank. He smirked, flicking a triumphant glance at Sota. A heavy silence fell as the instructor called. Cadet Sota, step forward. Every eye pinned him like a blade. Sota moved on legs that felt like stone. The dormant fruit cradled in his palm seemed colder than ever. He placed the fruit. A silent second stretched. Then a blinding blue lightning erupted, the orb screaming and a golden tag burned. SS-Rank, a tier unseen for a century. Instructor Voss stumbled back, his stern face blank with horror. Celine pressed a hand to her mouth, her tablet clattering to the floor. A suffocating silence clamped down on the hall. No one breathed, no one cheered. The lightning still crackled around Sota like a living cage.
Why are they looking at me like that? This isn't a celebration. It's a condemnation.
As the cadets dispersed in murmurs, Instructor Voss seized Sota's collar, his face inches away. Come with us. The words were not a request.
You are to come immediately. Do not speak to anyone. This is an order.
Celine flanked him, her tablet shaking in her grip. Sota stumbled along, bewildered as Yui called out, but a guard's arm blocked her. In a shadowed office, away from all ears, Voss and Celine argued in fierce whispers.
We have to contain it. If the seal weakens, you remember the Academy's records, Celine. The host never survives.
But this is unprecedented. The fruit's reaction is off every chart. If we suppress it now, the backlash could destroy the Academy.
Meanwhile, in the cold stone courtyard, Kale cornered Sota, his face twisted with fury.
An SSS rank? You? I'll prove you cheated, dead last. No way scum like you awakens that. What did I do to deserve this? I just wanted to be seen.
Yui's hand tightened on Sota's sleeve. Across the hall, her eyes met Celine's, and a current of dread passed between them. The Academy's secrets were stirring. Days passed, and Sota became a specter in his own academy. Cadets averted their eyes. Instructors turned corners to avoid him. Even the sparring rings were silent when he approached, out of fear, not respect.
They all treat me like I might explode at any moment.
But when he unleashed his blade, the world answered. Blue lightning sheathed the steel, and a single swing carved through 3 dummies like smoke. The power felt intoxicating, but also hungry. And then he heard it, a voice that slithered into his mind like cold mercury. More. Give me more, and you will never be weak again.
What was that? Who's there?
From a shadowed archway, Instructor Voss watched in silence. His knuckles were bone white on his staff. He did not intervene.
Sota, stop. You are out of control.
I cannot help it. It just rips out of me.
Yui saw it then. The faint twitch beneath his right eye, and the blue pulse that thrummed under his skin like a second heartbeat. Something else was living in him.
Sota, you are scaring me. Please, let us seek help.
Word of an SSS-Rank cadet spread like blood in water. From distant estates, noble eyes fixed on the Academy and on Sota.
Kale's father demands we hand Sota over. He calls it recruitment. But if we refuse, his letter threatens elimination.
Before the Academy could act, Kale stormed the courtyard, rapier drawn, his pride shattered by a dead last eclipsing him.
You are a monster, wearing a cadet's uniform. I'll put you down like the beast you are. Stay back. I don't want to hurt you.
But the voice inside him shrieked with glee, and his outstretched hand unleashed a wave of blue destruction. Kale flew backward, crashing into the stone. Kale crumpled against the wall, blood streaming from a gash on his arm. His family's retainers rushed to him, faces pale with horror. A cold laugh echoed in Sota's skull, the fruit's will drinking in the chaos. Yes, yes, more. Before Sota could flee, Academy guards seized his arms. Voss's command was ice. Cadet Sota, you will be detained for evaluation. As they dragged him away, Yui pressed against the cordon of guards, her voice breaking, but no one let her through. Sota's world shrank to a locked room, and the whisper that never slept, locked alone. Sota's body became a battlefield. The whisper grew claws, sinking into every thought, until the blue lightning burst from him unbidden. He convulsed and collapsed, the world going black. When awareness returned, a cold hand was shaking his shoulder.
I bribed a guard. We have 1 hour. The library has a restricted section. The answers must be there.
Deep within the library, they found it. An archway sealed with glowing red runes, pulsing like a heartbeat. A cold dread filled the air.
It knows we are here. The voice, it's screaming at me.
Just a little further. There must be a way to break the seal.
But Sota's knees buckled. Blue lightning spidered from his skin, shattering the nearby bookshelves. He screamed, a sound not entirely his own.
We cannot stay. Forgive me, Sota.
She pulled him through the labyrinth of shelves, the rund archway receding into the dark. The voice in Sota's head subsided, but its promise of power still burned.
We will find another way. I refuse to lose you.
That night, Sota's dreams twisted into a vision of the past. A man with mad eyes and chains binding his limbs, screaming as blue fire consumed him. The phantom's voice was not his own. It was the fruit's, and it promised the same end for Sota. He jolted awake, drenched in cold sweat.
Sota, look at this. I found a torn page in the library. It references an SSS seal protocol. It classifies SSS not as a tier of power, but as a containment category. As if the fruit itself is a prison.
A prison? For what? For me. Then my whole life here was a lie.
Driven by desperation, Sota barged into Instructor Voss's office, the torn page clutched in his trembling hand.
Where did you get that? You are meddling with buried truths that will destroy you.
Then tell me what it is. I have a right to know the truth.
Voss's response was a cold silence, then a shove. He pushed Sota out the door, his final warning hanging like a curse. Stay away, or you will bring ruin upon us all.
I will break into the secret archive myself. I will not be a pawn in their game.
Under a sliver of moon, Sota and Yui slipped past the wards and into the hidden archive. The air was thick with centuries of dust. Shelves groaned under the weight of forbidden scrolls. Sota's trembling fingers brushed over seal after seal until they found it.
SSS, Suppression Protocol. This is it. The Academy's greatest secret.
The scroll detailed a decades-old program. Cadets with SSS potential were intentionally dampened. Their readings falsified, their growth poisoned.
All those years, the shame, the failure. They did this to me. I was never weak. They made me weak.
At the bottom of the page, in crimson ink, a single line seared into his vision. SSS, fruits are seals, not powers.
A seal? Then what is it holding back? Sota, this is worse than we feared.
My whole existence is a cage. And the voice, it's the thing inside, trying to break free.
The cold truth settled over them, heavier than the dust. The secret was out, but it only opened a deeper void.
I have to know everything. What the seal is, and how long I have before it breaks.
They unrolled the next page. The ink was darker, the warnings urgent. The seal was not a metaphor. It was a cage for a monster. An SSS fruit contains the residual will of an ancient devil fruit user. A consciousness that seeks to override its host.
It will replace me. In just a few weeks. There's no mastery, only submission or annihilation. So this is it. My miracle was a death sentence.
A resealing ritual was described, dangerous, requiring the host to willingly surrender all power in a mental battle against the will.
Sota, to survive, you would have to give up everything you just gained. Back to being...
A dead last again. A nothing. But if I don't, I'll become a monster and hurt everyone I care about.
His legs gave out. Yui caught him, pulling his shaking body against hers. The archive's silence swallowed his sobs.
I won't leave you. Whatever you choose, we face it together.
The impossible choice had arrived. Surrender the power that proved his worth, or lose himself entirely. And the clock was ticking. They brought the scroll to Director Hartman. His weary eyes held no surprise, only the sorrow of a long-kept secret.
You knew. All those years. You stole my potential. My life.
For centuries, SSS fruits have devoured their hosts. Our suppression was not cruelty, it was mercy.
A hologram flared. A past SSS user. Eyes hollow, body twisted by the fruit's will. Rampaging through a burning city.
The ritual is the only escape, but the fruit will fight. You must surrender all power, absolutely. Few survive the mental battle.
There must be another path. You are asking him to throw away the only thing that proved his worth.
There is no other path. The SSS-Rank was never a gift. It is a curse that demands sacrifice.
A curse. All this time, I thought I was worthless, but it was just a cage holding a monster.
Yui's hand gripped his, but even her warmth couldn't chase away the cold truth settling in his chest.
I refuse to accept this. There has to be another answer. We'll find it together.
In his dormitory, Sota's control shattered. The fruit's will pried his lips into a mad grin, and his eyes ignited with hostile blue.
You wanted power, boy. Now consume. Consume everything until nothing remains but me.
Yui rushed to his side, but his twisted voice scraped against her ears.
Don't come closer, or I'll tear you apart and laugh while doing it.
Lightning curled around his upraised hand as he swung it toward her face. A blow meant to kill.
Stop. I will not become this. I will not hurt her.
The energy died. He collapsed, his own scream ripping from his throat, a sound of pure horror.
Sota, stay with me, please.
I almost killed her. I am the monster.
But Yui's arms tightened around him, refusing to let go. The danger was absolute, and so was her resolve. Slowly, Sota rose. The terror in his eyes had cooled into something harder. Denial. He pulled his hand from Yui's.
I will not die a dead last again. I'll crush this thing's will with my own hands.
Don't shut me out. If you lose yourself, I'll lose you too.
I almost killed you. This is my fight alone. Stay away, for your own sake.
In a candle-lit manner, Kale's bandaged arm hung in a sling. His father's eyes mirrored his fury.
Send the Shadow Guild. The dead last will never become a threat. I will not become a threat. I will not be humiliated again.
That evening, Sota stood alone in the training pit, cutlass blazing. He shredded dummy after dummy, but the voice cheered louder each time.
I can feel it growing, but I am still here. I won't break.
From the shadows of the archway, Yui watched her hand pressed over her mouth. The blue veins pulsed on his neck. The grin that wasn't his flickered briefly. Under the cold moon, Sota vowed to fight alone. In the distant shadows, a hired knife was sharpened for his throat. Days blurred into nights. The voice stopped whispering. It spoke in full sentences, a constant companion that clawed at his resolve. It promised him absolution. Surrender your fear, and we will remake this world. You will never kneel again. Then the waking nightmares began. He saw his own hand, wreathed in blue fire, closing around Yui's throat.
It shows me my worst fear over and over. I am losing myself, piece by piece.
The fruit dangled godhood. Why cling to weakness? Devour the world and rule it. Its voice merged with his own thoughts. In a puddle's reflection, he saw himself smiling over Yui's broken form. He screamed and stomped it into shards. He collapsed, chest heaving. The truth was absolute. He could not break the will, only be consumed or cage it.
I have to let it all go. I will be nothing again, but at least Yui will live.
The choice carved him hollow, but it was the only shield he could give to the ones he loved. He would reseal the fruit. On shaking legs, he rose toward the academy. The blue under his skin flickered, but his eyes held a new, grim resolve. As the academy gates came into view, shadows detached from the trees. 3 cloaked assassins, blades gleaming with intent. His cutlass was in his hand before he could think. But the voice inside shrieked with ravenous glee. Finally, a chance to feast.
Not now. I won't let you consume me again.
The first assassin lunged. Sota parried. Then the fruit's will flooded in, a torrent of black-blue malice overriding every nerve. His eyes went blank, a terrible grin splitting his face. The cutlass carved through shadow and bone, efficient, merciless, a scream, not of an assassin, shattered the carnage. Yui had followed, and now her voice clawed through the haze. He wheeled on her, the monster wearing his face, raising a clawed hand crackling with black lightning, stopped an inch from her throat.
Sota, please, come back to me.
I nearly killed you. No more, no more. I'll do it. I'll seal the fruit forever.
She cradled his head, her own tears falling onto his cheek. The decision was final. The sacrifice would be made. They returned to Director Hartman as dawn painted the sky. His weary eyes held a fragile hope when he heard Sota's resolve.
Then we will not waste another second. The sealing chamber must be activated, and we need every instructor to stabilize the circle.
Within the hour, Instructor Voss and Celine joined them, their usual sternness replaced by a solemn duty.
We once tried to drown this truth. Allow us to help you cage the monster inside that fruit.
Hartman activated an ancient hologram, images of past users locked in mental combat, their faces twisted in agony.
It will offer you the world, and it will show you Yui's corpse. You must reject both.
I will be your anchor, Sota. When the illusions come, my voice will be the rope you cling to.
Everything I gained will be taken, but I will not become the monster. I choose this path freely.
They led him down to the sealing chamber, a circular room carved deep beneath the academy, where ancient runes lay dormant on the stone floor. Sota's hands trembled over the altar. Yui squeezed his shoulder. I am here. Around them, the instructor's chant rose, and the runes flared to life. The runes blazed, and the circle etched itself in light around the altar. The instructor's chant grew distant, muffled.
I have to step outside now. The circle cannot hold if I stay, but I will be here, always.
Yui, you were the first to see me. If this ends badly, know that my last thoughts will be of gratitude.
No endings, only beginnings. Promise me you'll cling to my voice, no matter what illusions come.
I promise, and I'll return for you.
The heavy stone door slid shut, sealing her from the ritual space. Her silhouette pressed against the enchanted barrier. Sota turned to the altar. The fruit pulsed with a sickly blue glow, but his hands did not tremble as he set it down.
All my life I chased power. Now I choose to be powerless for her.
He stepped back, and the circle ignited. Blue fire raced along the runes, and the chamber became a cage of light in the deafening silence that followed. The fruit's will tore open a gateway into his mind, and the battle began. From the altar, a shadow tore free, a twin of Sota, but with skin like char and eyes of smoldering crimson. It did not speak. It echoed his worst thoughts. It showed him the sparring ring, every defeat, every sneer. This is your truth. Without me, you return to that.
I survived that. I can endure again.
The dark twin laughed, a sound that scraped like broken glass. It summoned a new image, Sota standing over Yui's body, his own hands drenched in crimson light. You will kill her. You already nearly did. Only power can keep her safe, and power demands total surrender.
He wants me to believe the only way to protect her is to become the monster. But Yui said to cling to her voice.
Through the maelstrom, a thread, her voice. You are not what it says. I believe in you.
Yui, I hear you.
The dark twin shrieked, its form beginning to fracture, but it lunged, dragging him into deeper nightmares. Sota clawed his way forward, straining toward that distant voice. The battle for his soul had only just begun. The dark twin dragged him into a gallery of the damned, past SSS users, their minds shattered, bodies chained as the fruit's eternal vessels. Their mouths moved in silent screams. Join them, the dark twin hissed, or rule over all alone.
All that power, and they still ended up as cages. I won't repeat their mistake.
The vision shifted. A future Sota as a god, feared by all but utterly alone. The dark twin offered the world. See? No one will ever laugh at you again. But the price is everything you love.
I reject your paradise. I choose the seal. I choose Yui.
His aura blazed gold. He opened his arms and stepped into the dark twin. Not to fight, but to accept the seal. The darkness dissolved. The entity's shriek softened into a sigh. Threads of light unwound its form, and the chains of the past users flickered with relief. Outside, the runes on the chamber door flared one final time, then dimmed to dormant gray. The instructor's chant faltered into silence. The fruit on the altar, cracked, gray, dormant. The ritual was complete, but Sota lay crumpled, unmoving in the fading light. The chamber door groaned open. Yui flew past the barrier, dropping to her knees beside Sota's motionless form, a faint breath. His eyelids fluttered, and when they opened, the blue fire was gone, replaced by a soft human color.
You did it. You came back to me.
Instructor Voss stepped forward, his stern mask cracked. He bowed his head, not in protocol, but in reverence.
You did what no other SSS bearer could. You let go. That is the truest strength Tide Academy has ever seen.
The suppression ends today. Your name will be spoken as the one who chose peace over power.
In the shadows of the corridor, Kale watched, his bandaged arm reminding him of the monster that never was. His sneer had vanished.
I am just me now, and that's enough.
The dormant fruit on the altar seemed to shrink into the shadows, a relic of what was caged, never to threaten again. With Yui's help, he rose. The chamber no longer felt like a prison. It was a beginning. Months later, Sota stood before a new class, an instructor's robe resting where his cadet coat once did. His eyes held no lightning, only clarity.
Today you learn the truth. The Academy once hid. A devil fruit's rank can be a cage, not a crown.
He lifted the gray, cracked fruit, dormant, harmless. Once a prison, now a lesson. In the front row, Yui sat with a proud smile, her notebook open. The scars of that night had healed into quiet strength.
No fruit gives you worth. That comes from what you are willing to sacrifice for others.
He walks without power, but he has never stood taller.
The Academy no longer suppressed potential. It taught cadets to understand their fruits, to resist the lure of absolute power. And every year, Sota would hold up that cracked fruit and tell his story. The dead last who chose to be powerless and found true strength.
Class dismissed. Remember, you are not your rank.
You've changed this place, Sota. And you changed me.
That evening, the Academy garden glowed under a golden sunset. Sota and Yui walked the flower-lined path, hands intertwined.
It was never about power. It was about what I was willing to give up, to protect what mattered.
And you gave up everything. That's why I will always be by your side.
Sota paused, the dormant fruit resting in his palm. A single tear rolled down his cheek, not of sorrow, but of gratitude.
This little shell, it held my greatest fear and my redemption.
Yui squeezed his hand, her own eyes glistening. No more words were needed. The camera drew back, revealing the tranquil academy bathed in golden light, the sea calm beyond the cliffs. The gray fruit in his palm caught the last rays of sun, no longer a prison, but a symbol of peace. Hand in hand, they walked forward, leaving behind the shadows of the past. The dead last cadet had become Tide Academy's greatest lesson, that true strength lies not in power, but in the courage to let it go.